Buongiorno, buonasera, good evening. Welcome back, guys. It's another episode of the Ball Podcast. With me, Rocco. I welcome all 9 of you to this week's episode of the podcast. I truly appreciate every single one of you for listening. I truly appreciate those people who, listen to 1 minute and then bow out. I appreciate you. Listen, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute. Love you either way. Who's that lady that says she don't want no 1 minute man? I'll take a 1 minute man when they're listening to my podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Super Bowl boxes. Super Bowl boxes. Pay for them when you ask for them. That's why I always hated doing Super Bowl boxes for that main reason. Having to chase people for money. Listen, pay for the box when you ask for the box. That's all. Make your life easier. Or tell me when you're going to pay me. Don't just say, hey, I want number 97, and then I don't hear from you for 2 months. Pay for your boxes. So if you're listening to this right now, and you have some outstanding balances on some boxes, pay for them. Tell them Rocco reminded you. So, something I want to talk about today is the fun and joy of putting yourself out in public on social media. Especially as a nice chunkanado as myself. Nice and husky. Or, as my doctor calls me, morbidly obese. Listen, guys. I've been fat my entire life. I came out of the womb chunky. I stayed chunky. I'm not one of those people who was skinny when I was younger. I was always chunky. I've been called fat my entire life. It's the easiest thing for trolls to mention. I could make a video about anything. I could make a video about hanging up wallpaper. And someone will be like, hey, he's fat. And it's like, all right, great job. How's the wallpaper? People are just like, listen, we've got social media now, and the number one thing people love social media for is to be nasty to each other, and I just don't get it. It's like, listen, I know I don't like majority of people, but I'm not nasty to anyone. I could dislike you in silence. I posted a video, and I had a comment on it. And it was definitely a fake profile, but I went with it because the fake profile had the ugliest woman I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not anyone to call anyone ugly because, I'm not Tom Cruise sitting over here. But she chose to comment and say, how could you be married? Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but this is what the gist of it was. She couldn't believe that I was married because I'm so fat. And she said, I can't imagine who would want to be under that. Well, first of all, you're assuming that my favorite position is me on top. Don't assume my positions, all right? It's 2022. We don't do that anymore. Don't assume people's positions. Secondly, and how I respond to her, I was like, well, luckily, not you. Because, lady, you look like a bag of flour. You look like... I'm trying to think of the movie. Oh, Miss Doubtfire. There you go. Miss Doubtfire when she dipped her face in the pie. That's what you look like, and you choose to comment on other people's appearances. Granted, 99.9% certain that's a fake profile. But, in my point of view, I have to work with what I got. It's not my fault the person behind the thing is too ugly to even put their real face out there. Listen. It takes balls to put yourself in anything public on social media. Because people love nothing more than to make fun of other people. I mean, listen, I love doing it too. I absolutely adore it. But I'm not a dick about it. That's the whole thing. You gotta not be a dick about it. And that's what everyone on social media does. And that's why you have all this bullying and nonsense like that. But what I love about community standards and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is that people can come to your page and harass your life with negative comments, calling you every name in the book, and it won't get removed for bullying or harassment or anything like that. But God forbid you respond. They ban your account faster than my cholesterol goes up. Like, how does that make sense? Like, you allow people to bully the content creators, but the content creators cannot respond. That doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I mean, either way, listen, guys. I'll be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why this podcast is only audio. Is because I'm not going to sit here and have myself on the camera for 20 minutes. And then once I put it on YouTube, everyone's going to focus on, hey, he's fat. Like, okay, got it. Understood. I did look in the mirror lately. I did notice my shirt didn't fit that good. I understood that. Can you just pay attention to what I'm saying right now, though? I mean, I don't care. It doesn't hurt me anymore. It doesn't, I'm used to it. But I'm just saying, guys, we can get a little bit more creative. Stop commenting on the weight. That's the easiest thing, and it's a cheap one. It's too cheap. You're better than that. Go after something you can't, be original. Like say, hey, Rocco, you have huge feet. You're a fucking dick. Just something like that. Don't call me fat. That means nothing to me anymore. That's like, calling me fat is the equivalent of putting urgent in the subject title of an email. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It does not mean anything. So just relax. I'm chunky. I'm husky. What is it? Someone told me a long time ago when I was younger, when someone calls you fat, just tell them, hey, I can lose weight. You can't change your face because you're ugly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to say that. And then the easy response is, but you're ugly too. I'm like, damn. Walked right into that one. So, guys, get more creative with your bullying if you're going to have bully. It's the easy, cheap laugh to go for weight. Or if someone has a crooked eye. Or if someone has huge ears. That's too easy. It's cheap. Get creative. All right? On to my second favorite thing on social media. It's a little game I like to play where I call it, did they break up? And we all do this. We all do this. You notice a couple and they're not posting pictures together lately? Like every picture is not, the pictures don't contain the couple anymore. It's a lot of solo pictures. If they're married and would have kids, it's just one person and the kids. It's never the couple. Never. And you're sitting there and the wheels start turning in your head. They start turning in your head. Did they break up? What happened? What's going on? I need to know. And then you don't find out because people don't want to post that shit. So you sit there and trying to find out, trying to stalk pictures, trying to see when's the last time they posted together. Do not judge me right now because you do it too. Just getting that out there. You do it too. And then, what is it, maybe 2-3 months down the road when they finally do admit that they broke up, or someone changes the marital status, or you hear the real news, you just go, I knew it. You say, I knew it. I was the first one to know. The social media, it proved otherwise. That's what I do now. This is the problem when you've been working from home for almost 2 years. Well, more than 2 years now. You start playing these little games by yourself. Usually you play with yourself, but you can't do that all the time. You have to entertain yourself in different ways. So I choose to entertain myself through other people's life and social media and guessing if couples are still together. Because it's off. It's off. And then I have to figure out, why is it off? Tell me, goddammit, tell me. So, If you're currently going through a breakup, a separation, a divorce, just let your Facebook people know because you're putting a lot of stress on us. Because we would like to know. On another note, on the opposite side of this, people who never post, but only post when they have to show off something. We don't like you. We're just telling you now, we do not like you. You are annoying. We know your life is miserable. Stop trying to play a game. Oh, I want to cut back for a second. Because I was telling my wife about this yesterday, about the whole couples and divorce and nonsense. And like, if they divorce, they break up, what's going on? And she goes, but you do that to me. I'm like, whoa, back it up. Because I do not post anything like couple related. She goes, you never post pictures of me. It's always of just the kids. And I'm like, excuse me. I don't post anything personal on my act. She goes, you only post it on your stories because then it gets deleted and your little girlfriends on your social media can't see it. Until I said, first of all, you're thinking I'm that smart. Second of all, have you seen me lately to think that anyone else besides you would want this? Third of all, I do not post like personal things on the main page. I just put it in the story. Because why would I post about a birthday, on my main Instagram page that's going to sit there when the birthday's only one day long? Who's going to go back to go check what I posted for my son's 4th birthday? So that's that. My wife thinks I'm one of that, but no. I'll clear it up. I'll tell you. We are not separated. We are not fighting. We did not break up. We're not on the verge of divorce. Everything's fine. Rocco just doesn't like to post that stuff. Rocco just focuses on posting his stupid nonsense comedy stuff. My wife is in charge of posting the personal stuff. I just post my nonsense. Going back to our friends who only post when they have something positive to say. Just go fuck yourself. That's what we're going to say. And I'll end that on that. But I do love social media sometimes. It is greatly entertaining. Like I just posted a few minutes ago that I wish I was part of mom's groups because I heard the drama in there was like just so much fun. Because the drama in neighborhood groups is always it's a different drama. Because like in a neighborhood Facebook group, that's where like the racist people, the bigot type stuff, that's what happens there. That's like more serious drama. In the moms groups, I think like it's more fun because like they're criticizing like a bottle, like this nipple is too rough and like how dare you think of a nipple, stuff like that. That's what I imagine it's like. Let me know if it's wrong. But I do want to be in moms groups because I just want to be part of it. And the reason with that is because like this morning it snowed up by me. And like maybe like an inch, but like they didn't plow yet. So like the roads were a mess and like everyone in the area was expecting at least a 2-hour delay of school. And that didn't happen because we have a new superintendent who's probably like from North Alaska where he's used to like always snow. So he didn't believe that. And my wife goes to me and she goes, all the moms are already complaining. I'm like, what? There's nothing in the school group. You're already seeing the drama and I don't see anything yet because it takes time to trickle into a more public place. The drama always builds in the mom group and then it bubbles, and sometimes it will overflow to other groups where I can see it. So my wife's like, yeah, no, they're already complaining. I'm like, oh man, I had to wait 2 hours to see a post about it. That was terrible. And I feel sorry for the superintendent because the post that I got to see was someone putting his email and like, flood his inbox with complaints. And I'm like, oh my God, Lord have mercy on this guy's outlook. Because he is going to get inundated with a bunch of people. How dare you? I did the shimmy leg twice going down my garage. Like, listen, guys. In school in New York City, when I growing up, for me, because now they close more, but when I grew up, school never closed. Bro, school never closed. I remember my most vivid memory of school not closing during snow, and for some reason my parents saying you have to go. I mean, granted, we did live up the block from the school, so why wouldn't I go because it was snowing? I could have literally shoveled my way to the school. That's how close I lived. But we went, okay? And what I remember is that my nonna took us to school. The snow was up to my hips. It was like up to my nonna's thighs because, she's short. She was short. And like we had to push through to get to school. That's my most vivid memory, and the school did not close. That's how much snow there was on the ground, and school did not close. And today, there's an inch of snow, probably less than an inch, and people are going crazy on Facebook because they didn't have a 2-hour delay. This is what we've become now. 1 inch of snow, close the schools. Yo, if I have to go out there and shimmy a leg walking down the path, someone's going to pay. I mean, hey, listen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I look for any reason not to go anywhere. But I do enjoy my time home without my kids when they go to school. So keep them open. I appreciate you, Mrs. Superintendent. Now that that's off my chest, I want to do a little segment. I want to try something new. Because I'm talking to you, all 9 of you. It's me, you, and 8 other people. I'm going to do this thing. It's called the random generator, random questions. I went to this nice little website called conversationstarters.com, and you generate topics. And whatever question comes up, I'll answer it. We'll talk about it for a little bit. See what happens, All right, so I'm up on this website now. Let me hit the generate a random topic, and it says, what was your worst restaurant experience? Now, if I'm thinking about that right now, let's see. Food-wise, a lot of them have been bad. Experience-wise, I haven't had, bad experiences in a restaurant, so I'll just go with a food. I'll go with a food experience. And this was, what was that? It was that fancy new casino in Atlantic City. The one that opened for a year then closed. And now I think it's Hard Rock. Well, before that, and then they had a restaurant in the middle of it. And I was like, all right, let me go. And for some reason, I chose to get meatloaf. I don't know why. Sometimes it's an Italian thing. I get obsessed with American dishes because I'm so used to just eating Italian things at home that whenever I go to a restaurant, I'll pick something crazy American because I never get that. Going back to a story when I was younger, there was a kid in my class who always had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch, and I never got that. So I finagled a way to get invited to his house after school in hopes that his mom would make us peanut butter and jelly sandwiches as a snack. It happened. It worked. That was the first time I had peanut butter and jelly in elementary school. Bang, boom, meatloaf sucked. Let's go to a second question. What do you do to stay in shape? Obviously, this one does not see me. It's not a camera related. Yeah. Dumb question, especially for me. What do I do to stay in shape? I eat so I can stay around. All right, I could have made that up myself. All right, going back. Another question. If you could choose your last meal, what would it be? Chicken cutlets with mashed potatoes and balsamic vinegar. I always thought that it was normal to put vinegar on your chicken cutlets. Please, and I found out that's not common. So here's the thing. Growing up, Nonna always made a salad. And the vinegar would always, trickle onto the chicken cutlet. And I found that being amazing. So I started putting vinegar directly on my chicken cutlet. If you're listening to this now, try that. Let me know what you think it is. If you've done that before, let me know so at least I know I'm not the only one. But apparently I found out that that's not common. People don't put vinegar on their chicken cutlets. So if you do that, let me know. If you don't do that, try that, then let me know. Let's go for another question. Why is this all food questions? Like, seriously, conversation started. Why is it all food questions? I'm starting to think that it does see me. The internet's always listening. What food do you like to snack on? Well, right now I'm trying not to snack. Trying not to snack. But if I do snack, I like gummies, like the fruit gummies. You know, like Gushers, stuff like that. I am a big guy, loves fruit, these snacks. Going on to the next question. What are your okay, this question's stupid. I'm just 3 smartphone apps. First of all, who still calls it a smartphone? Every phone's a smartphone at this point. Just call it a phone. All right, these are getting dumb and boring. Okay, do you prefer to cook or order takeout? I prefer to order takeout just because it's easier. Because cooking means dishes, and I hate doing dishes because, well, my wife does. The reason my wife would do dishes, but I tell her not to, because I cannot stand how she piles the dishes in the drainer, in the dry rack thing. There's like no procedure, there's no organization to it. It's just random chaos. Like, I like to do the flat plates first, and then I put them in the slots. You know, then I put little plates, and I put the little bowls. Then the big bowls, they can, go overhang on stuff. They overhang a little bit. So, you play around, but it's all organized. You start with big, middle, little, big. There's an organization to it. There's a science. My wife, it's a fucking psychopath when it comes to washing dishes. It drives me nuts. Because she builds this pyramid that if you move one fork, the entire drying rack's falling on the floor. That's what's happening. Next question. How many email addresses do you have? Well, I have my work email address, I have my Rocco the Comic email address, I have my real one, and I'm still holding on to my AOL email address. I don't know when I'm going to delete that. I don't really use it anymore. It just collects spam mail, but I'm not deleting it. I am not deleting my Big Rock email. I am not. But when was the point? This is what I want to know from people. If you're listening right now, I probably got 4 of you at this point. We've lost 5. When was the point that made you switch to Gmail from AOL if you had AOL? For me, it was when I started getting embarrassed to tell people my email address when they asked for it. And not like friends, I didn't care about that. But like when you go to a store and they ask for your email address to be put on their list, and I'm there, yeah, Big Rock. And then they just look at me and I'm like, with 2 G's. Because regular Big Rock was taken, so I had to put 2 G's in it to be cool. So it's like Big Rock. Yeah, that's exactly when I decided to, get a professional looking email address. Next question here. Describe your favorite type of pizza. Listen, pizza is good. So what favorite type? Any pizza you have minus ones with anchovies or minus ones that they put the entire fucking kitchen sink on it is good. All right? Sometimes, I want a nice brick oven pizza, small, individual. Sometimes I want a nice Brooklyn slice. Sometimes I want a Sicilian, They're all good. All right, so if you became president, what is the first thing you would do? Would probably write my resignation letter because someone's going to come and say something I did that was wrong, and I'd have to resign right away. Seriously. That's the probably truth. Someone's going to come, he wanted to see my boob. That motherfucker. And then, my name is Rocco, and I resign as your president. Next question, what do you wear to sleep? We're getting serious now. Bow chicka wow wow. I just wear moutarde underwear. That's all I wear to sleep. You don't need nothing more. And this is me who does laundry now. I'm someone who does laundry. Why am I going to put something on to take it off as soon as I wake up and then have to wash it? Why? Just sleep in the mutan you were wearing. Then you only have one garment that has to go to the wash. Everything else is fine. Why add more pajamas to the laundry basket? We don't need it. No one's coming. Listen, I don't care if there's a fire or if there's an emergency. I got time to put the pants on. I got time. I know where my shirts are. I know where my pants are. I could be in and out 10 seconds. I'm definitely wearing pants right now, if you're wondering. Just in case, because I know sometimes people wonder. Is Rocco wearing pants now? I am. What is one thing you would change about your home? I wish I had like a room that I could go into. What is it? An emergency room? What is those called? I want a room with padding where I can go in there, not hear anything outside the room, and bang my head against the wall every time my wife asks me too many questions. That's what I would change about my home. A room where I could bang my head against the wall and not cause damage. Boom. Bada bing, put that in a house, you're going to sell it. What is your favorite thing about winter? The number one thing I love about winter is that we're all wearing big jackets, so technically we all look fat. This is the socialism of appearances. Winter. Everybody looks fat. By the way, the reason why I'm so pro-mask is because it covers the double chin. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom, covers the chin. The double chin, it gets covered in the mask. That's why it's beautiful. Now this question speaks for itself. Would you rather have to sit all day or stand all day? I like to sit on my fat ass all day, hence why I started this show talking about people calling me fat. And the final question, let's hit this button one more time. What are some things that you should not say during a job interview? Here's one. I just jerked off before I got here. And don't say you haven't, because you've heard somewhere that if you do that, if you twiddle by yourself, the nerves go away. So I would say 90% of the people before an interview have touched the magic dragon or twiddled the roast beef before they went there. I might be wrong, I might be right, I'll never know. On that note, probably have 2 of you left. I appreciate you with my entire heart. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend. I hope your phone charges to 100% all the time. On that note, thank you for listening. I look forward to speaking to you again. Buonanotte. State buono. What are you going to do?